Hello, I'm Alex Davies, founder of Wealth Club, and today I'm with Nalaka De Silva and Lulu Wang of Aberdeen to talk about the investment opportunities in private markets. Hello, both. Perhaps first you could just talk to me about Aberdeen.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having us. I'm Nalaka De Silva. I'm head of private market solutions at Aberdeen. Aberdeen is a very long and established asset manager investing across both public and private markets, about 500 billion worth of assets, of which we ran about 80 billion in private markets. And that's across venture capital, private equity, real estate, infrastructure, natural resources. I look after the desk that manages private market portfolios, and my colleague Lulu Wang works in my team.
Thank you, Nalaka. Thanks, Alex, for inviting us on board today. So my name is Lulu Wang. I joined Nalaka's team in 2018 to head up the research and strategy function of a private market solution desk. I started my career in banking and financial sectors, and I've been spent over decades of my career in real estate industry post-completion of my doctorate degree in international diversifications.
These type of assets have been really growing in popularity, and what's causing this?
I think in any type of market, the size matters. So private market has been growing phenomenally in the last 10 years. So according to the latest survey by McKinsey, the size of private market is estimated around about 10 trillion as 2021. So therefore creating a very deep, liquid and transparent market as an established market asset class itself for investors to consider. I think secondly also is the risk and adjusted return profile, which is very attractive to investors indeed. And thirdly, I think the diversification, which is much more profound in today's world when the public market is very volatile and uncertainty increasing. So I think gradually between institutional investors and also many investors across the globe show a lot more interest in private market.
Nalaka, you invest across a variety of different private markets. Which do you find most interesting at the moment?
Just given where we are around inflationary trends, looking at where valuations lie globally, it's really kind of focusing our attention around perhaps the real assets in other markets, looking at infrastructure, more stable cash flows that have been driven through real existing businesses or through projects, whether it be infrastructure projects or corporates. And then being able to lend into some of those businesses where the spreads that have been generated historically are now widening because of the risk profile. So in terms of the looking at the areas of the markets that are sort of particularly interesting at this particular point in the cycle, I would say sort of real assets and private credit.
And what characteristics are you looking for in companies?
Look, for all of those, there's probably three main baskets that we look at. It's looking at, I guess, the idiosyncrasies of any one individual investment, and that'll take into account the management team, their corporate structure, the ability to generate profits, how they risk manage their assets. So looking at that very closely, at the asset level. Then we look at the market specifically. So how are they participating in their marketplace? How are they going to grow their portfolios, or how are they going to manage the long-term secular trends that might be occurring in those marketplaces? And then lastly, we look at sort of the macro influences on those. So, as we can sort of see, the monetary policy environment is changing. How will that affect, valuations, discount rates, liquidity, and exits? So all of those coming together is essentially a fairly comprehensive process of really deeply understanding the asset, the markets they operate in, and the macro environment.
So finally, Lulu, why should high net worth investors consider private markets?
There are very many good reasons why the investors should consider private market investment. First and most is the diversification benefit. In today's increasing volatile and uncertain world, by adding private market portfolios into the existing investment, or indeed by new into investment, be able to creating the risk and return justified return for the many investors. Secondly, is the inflation hedging. There's no doubt about it, globally, the inflation has been heading into unpredictable territories. And lastly is be able to access top quality managers globally.
Lulu and Nalaka of Aberdeen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.